Hey! Sorry about the mess. We're in the middle of installing a big showcase. So what have you seen in town so far?
We decided to do the Real Witches tour.
Oh. You talked to Olivia.
What's with her getup? Witch? Street magician, maybe?
Everyone has to make a living. Is she telling the story about a coven living here in the recent past?
Yeah. Why?
Just bad taste.
Olivia is quite the local character. I hope you don't mind if we do the tour. I want to see more of the town, and finding out a place's old superstitions is kind of a habit I've gotten into. I'm excited to look around the museum.
Of course. How's the investigating going? Any progress with May?
I've got some leads. I haven't had much progress with May, though. I was wondering if I could ask you a couple of questions, if you have time.
Sure thing. How can I help?
What's this new showcase about?
Yes, this new showcase is going to be really cool. Just in time for Halloween, you know?
But what is it about?
If you come back on Halloween, I'll show you.
Can I show you something? I found this letter at your house, and I'm curious who wrote it.
Let me see it.
Do you recognize it?
No, I don't. Were you digging through our trash?
I saw it. Couldn't help myself. What can I say? I love a good puzzle.
It's trash. Can you keep your assistant out of my garbage?
She's not my...
Assistant isn't really the right word.
I can think of others.
Fine. Anything else?
Nancy doesn't let any details slip by her, no matter how mundane. And that just might be what we need to help May.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what it is. I've never seen it before. Could be one of May's weird friends from school, for all I know. Okay?
I thought she didn't really have any friends.
Well, I don't know who wrote it, okay?
So what's the deal with these pumpkins?
Oh, yeah. I've prepared some pumpkins that visitors can carve and bring with them to place around Salem. Feel free to give it a try if you want. It's really fun and completely free.
Talk to you later. This tour sounds interesting.
Welcome on my tour.
Thank you.
Oh there, watch your steps. In recent years, these maws into the deep unknown have opened. There was once a vast network of tunnels beneath Salem, used by smugglers during the Prohibition era. Most would have you believe that these tunnels are now collapsing. But you have to wonder if there could be something more sinister behind these sudden maws into the underworld. The Salem Museum, known formerly as the Town Hall, not only a great resource for the Salem witch trials, it also holds records of other interesting facets of our local history. Anyone visiting Salem does well to seek out the forbidden knowledge hidden in these halls. It was a time of horror, when the witches who walked the earth were wrongfully prosecuted and thus stripped of everything. These are the ghosts you'll find here in Salem. Their homes taken, their knowledge destroyed, their lives erased. Before you stands Abigail Hathorne, helping the accused witches escape the grasp of her own brother, Judge Hathorne himself. Abigail freed many from their holding cells until the judge caught her in the act and locked her up in a cell deep within the Hathorne house. The statue was given the name Little Liberty in honor of her valiant efforts to free the innocent. Through these woods lies the infamous Hathorne estate. It was common during the Salem witch trials that the lands of the accused were taken and resold for cheap. The judge himself bought many such lands, and on them built his grand estate. The Hathorne house has since come to represent all the wrongs that were inflicted during the trials. Headstones bear names lost to history, but some believe they belong to those sentenced for witchcraft. A condemned witch was forbidden from being buried on consecrated ground, but many victims were buried by loved ones in secrecy, and some may have found their eternal rest beneath these unmarked graves. Before the remains of Salem's most zealous and conniving judge. So lacking in morals was Judge Hathorne that he sentenced innocents to death while claiming the estates of the dead as his own. Unlike the more remorseful Judge Sewell, Hathorne never felt any guilt for his part in the Salem witch trials.
That group is really chanting.
Yes, can I help you?
Hi, sorry to bother you, but we were looking for Judge Danforth's office.
Just across the hall. Why? What did you two girls do?
We didn't do.
I'm kidding. Alicia Cole, Esquire.
Nice to meet you. I'm Nancy Drew, and this is Deirdre Shannon. You're a lawyer.
Salem's best. The only practicing lawyer in the historic town limits, if you could believe it. And if you girls were in any trouble, I'd have no problem representing you. You both have that innocent look. Juries love it.
So you're saying we could get away with a crime?
We?
No? Partners in crime?
Sorry to bother you, Miss Cole. We'll check in with the judge. Have a good evening.
You'd really become my enemy if I committed a crime?
Sorry. You shouldn't joke about that.
Why? You gonna arrest me?
No, but I'd call the police to report you. I'd also recommend you a decent lawyer, because I'm an excellent witness for the prosecution.
Wow.
I'm a lawyer's daughter, Deirdre. Don't mess with me. Hello? Judge Danforth.
Yeah, hello. Ted? Is that you?
Ted?
No, Your Honor. My name is Nancy Drew. I think you've spoken with my father.
Nancy Drew? Carson's daughter?
Yes. And I'm with my friend Deirdre Shannon. We're investigating the arson of the Hathorn house.
Ah, yes, yes.
Can we come in?
Well, you see, no, I mean, I'd let you in, but I seem to have been locked in my office and I need some help getting out.
Do you know where I could find a key to your office?
Yes, I believe I gave a copy of the key to Alicia Cole as backup. She's just down the hall. I hope she's still here.
Yes, can I help you?
He said you might have a key.
Sorry, I gave him my spare. Unbelievable. Does this ever end?
Oh. Well then, do you have a paperclip?
Yeah. And if you don't mind me asking, what business do you two have with the judge?
We're helping the judge with a case.
Anything I can assist you with?
Thanks, but I think we got it. No need for a lawyer. At least, not yet. Judge Danforth? I couldn't find your key.
What? Alicia said she'd keep a copy for me.
Well, I did find a paperclip. I think I can pick your lock, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure, fine.
This shouldn't be too much of a challenge. Ha! Still got it.
Efficient. How'd you learn to do that, actually?
Online video tutorial.
Someday you have to tell me about your secret life of breaking and entering, Drew. Because you're in danger of being cool. Which, honestly, I just don't like.
Someday.
Ah, those protesters are out there again, stirring the pot. You know, this town used to be a quiet place, but it seems lately there's been an element that has infiltrated our community. I have no doubt one of those troublemakers locked my door and threw away the key. Now, Nancy, your father and I have discussed.
Oh, sorry. I'm not Nancy.
Of course you're not. You look nothing like Carson. Did your father ever tell you about the time we won 4th place at the Lake Winnipesaukee Regatta? You see, at the time I had 20/10 vision, so I was the navigator and...
Judge, this is Deirdre Shannon. She's working with me on the case.
Deirdre, you're the one who tried to break down my door.
Breakdown?
Your Honor, that's an exaggeration. I was knocking. Heavily.
Look, I'm really busy dealing with this Hathorn House business. Being a judge is not as simple as, you know, investigating during your free time.
Well, we just used our free time to unlock your door. So I'm sure you'll be willing to repay us with some answers to our questions. Right?
Yes, of course. What can I help you girls with?
Can you explain to us how you're involved with the Hathorn house?
Well, yes. The house was built by Judge John Hathorn during the 1600s, and it represented the oldest surviving structure from that era. Judge Hathorn, of course, was one of the 3 judges that presided over the Salem witch trials.
Yes, and I'm sure we can read all about the home's history in Salem's museum.
More recently, Frances Tuttle, Judge Hathorn's last direct descendant, lived in a small section of the house while the rest was left to fall into considerable disrepair. She was alone, except for a part-time caregiver, Lauren Holt, who had a bedroom in the carriage house. A few months ago, Frances Tuttle passed away, which left Hathorn House without a legal heir. According to the historical statutes of Salem, after 90 days, the house reverts to public property, the deadline of which is 2 days from now, at midnight.
I was told that the burning of Hathorn House is suspected to be a case of arson. How did the police come to that conclusion?
The investigation found paint solvent residue on burnt embers, suggesting someone deliberately used an accelerant. Thankfully, Mrs. Tuttle never had to see what became of her home.
And what evidence do you have that May Perry is the one responsible for this?
Evidence? Have you ever heard of recidivism? 3 out of 4 criminals in the United States are repeat offenders. And there's only one person in all of Salem who has a history of fire-related crime.
So, there is no evidence.
Not yet, but there will be.
You don't need evidence. She's already been convicted in the court of public opinion.
Is that what she said?
No, I'm saying it.
She has a history with this sort of thing.
What's May's motive? What does she gain by burning down the Hathorn house?
You'd have to ask her. And while you're at it, you can ask about her alibi, which she refused to give to the police. So, any other questions?
So the Book of Apologies. Why did you really need it?
Yes, and first of all, I'm so glad you're all right. Nasty business. Had I known you were going to be put in harm's way, I would have never called Carson and asked for his help.
I've done plenty of work for my father. Trust me. I can handle myself.
Yes, I'm sure you can.
So, I've already heard some stories, but would you mind giving me your version of why the book is important?
Yes, so... Judge Sewell was rumored to keep a ledger of all the accused, intending to publish it to reconcile with their families and clear their names. But he passed away before he could do so.
Going to Austria for a rumored book seems like a heck of a long shot.
Well, I have been under some pressure from the AW group. AW as in accused witches.
Don't you think it's dangerous throwing around May's name as a suspect before any evidence links her to the crime?
What do you mean? What are you saying?
From what you've described, there is no evidence against May. Yet you were saying that she did it. As a judge, I think you would be the first to admit that sounds prejudicial.
It is not just me, Miss True. There are plenty of people who believe that May is responsible for this crime. It is not prejudice when she is the only likely suspect.
Actually, that is the definition of prejudice.
I'm not going to have this debate with you. Is there anything else?
How valid is the claim the accused witches have against the Hathorn house?
I have been working with Tegan Perry, the organizer of that group. The Book of Apologies would have presented evidence Miss Perry could use for her claim.
And without it...
Their case is incomplete. According to the statutes of Salem established in 1629, property ownership was placed under the vacuum domicilium doctrine, meaning that any unused land would be made available to any member of the public who was willing to settle on it. This comes into effect 90 days after the land is abandoned, at midnight, meaning it will happen with the Hathorn estate in 2 days.
So, how did Frances Tuttle pass away exactly?
The woman was 88 years old. The coroner confirmed her death was of natural causes.
So they never investigated Lauren Holt.
You need the suspicion of foul play to investigate someone, young lady.
We'd like to speak with her all the same.
She still lives on the estate, although for how much longer we do not know. You can also find her in her shop, Luminous Infusions. She might be willing to talk to you.
Talk to you later.
Miss True, before you go, there is something else I need your help with.
You're not locked out of your car, are you?
Oh, no. There was an incident here recently. Someone broke into the evidence room.
Oh. Have you called the police?
Well, no, not yet. I don't think anything was taken. Never mind. I'll call the police. Thank you for your time.
Okay, I'm officially exhausted. Let's head back to the Perry house, okay?
So, any thoughts?
First album was better.
Yeah, totally. It's good.
Really? You like this?
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, well, they were much better before they changed their bassist.
I meant the case. What do you think about it?
I don't like the judge.
Yeah, I kinda got that. I think the feeling's mutual.
Well, he's a jerk. Maybe he burned down the Hathorn house. What? You don't think so?
That magic that Olivia was using is so similar to what I saw in Austria.
I don't think the Witch of Salem is burning anything except people's hard-earned money. Those magic tricks are for kids.
If May were willing to give an alibi, we could clear this up tonight. She's not talking to anyone, it seems. We are all allowed to enjoy some amount of privacy, but her refusal to be interviewed leads me to believe she is hiding something.
I can't believe you, Drew. I thought you were here to help. You know, not everyone can be as brilliant and cold as you are.
I'm not cold, and I never said I was brilliant either.
You need to get May to trust you. If she trusts you, she'll open up and tell you the truth. And then you'll see. You're kind of my last hope to reach her. You're good at finding ways to get people to open up. Usually. So find a way.
I'll try. Hi. Hey, what are you listening to?
You like this?
Yeah, we were listening on the way over. First album was much better. Yeah, too bad they changed bassists.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just, you don't look like you listen to this music.
Why does no one believe me?
Now you know how I feel.
May, I know you don't know me that well, but I'm here to help you.
I didn't burn down the Hathorn house.
Okay. Why does everyone think you did?
It's called prejudice. I look different. Or something like that.
That doesn't seem like a good reason to burn down a building.
What can I say? We're stupid. I can't believe it's gone.
Did you ever visit the estate?
All the time. I appreciated it.
Oh? Why? Because it's historically significant?
It was built by a cold, brutal man who sent a bunch of people to their death because he didn't understand them. I appreciate being reminded of what happens when greedy people stay in charge.
Did you know Frances Tuttle very well?
No. But I know her daughter Lauren has that shop, Luminous Infusions.
You ever been inside?
No, why would I go there?
I was just wondering if you knew her.
I don't. I mean, I know she used to hang with my sister back in the day. But I guess they fell out or something, that's all I know.
Look, I spoke with the judge. They don't have anything on you. All we need is an alibi, and then they can't charge you with anything.
And they're not going to have anything on me. Because he can't prove I did it.
Then why not just give the police an alibi? That's all they need.
I just can't. It's not only about me, okay?
Okay, I understand. But I can't help you or anyone else if I don't know who they are.
Just, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I can't.
Do you and the judge know each other? Have a history?
The man thinks I'm a bad influence.
Why?
Because I used to be friends with his son. His son has had an interesting life, and he thinks it's my fault. He holds a grudge against me.
Really? That sounds surprising.
You live in a small town long enough, people make up their minds about who you are. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. It just is.
Can you tell me anything about Olivia Ravencroft? Anything at all?
I can tell you she doesn't get along with my sister.
Really? Why?
I don't know. They had some falling out a while ago. You should ask her.
Do you think Olivia would have any reason to light the Hathorn house on fire?
Let me put it this way. Olivia is what we call in this town part of the witch business. Anything dramatic, spectacular, or with fire, she's usually involved.
So you think she did it?
I didn't say that. I just think it's possible that she could have.
Okay, thanks. Your sister really cares about you.
She has a strange way of showing it sometimes.
Well, she cared enough to get Deirdre and I involved.
I worry about her.
How come?
She takes her work really seriously. Like, she cares. A lot. Like, way more than most normal people do for their passion projects. It's not a hobby, it's more like something she has to do.
Kinda sounds like me.
I hope not. It's like her personal crusade, like only she can make it better or something. You can't live your life like that. You need to enjoy it. Enjoy it with people you love.
Yeah, believe me, I know. We saw Tegan at the museum. Looks like she's working on an interesting installation.
Why don't you ask her?
Well, I thought you might have an opinion, or...
I don't. Can you just leave her out of this? I don't want her being involved with my problems.
So, I found this letter.
What is that?
I found it in your trash. It says, I know.
Yeah, I can read.
So?
So I don't know what it is. Don't go through my trash. I'm done talking, okay?
Well?
She's protecting something. Or someone.
Okay, yeah, obvi. But what?
I don't know yet. I'm getting through to her, though. We have to go to the Hathorn house. Tonight.
Tonight? Like, in the dark?
Yeah. Do you have flashlights?
You do remember what I told you about that place, right?
You know what? Better idea. I'll go. You stay here and see if maybe May feels like talking to you.
Be careful out there, Drew.
There's no such thing as ghosts, Deirdre. I'll be fine.
No, not ghosts. People swear there's something in that house. Too many people believe it to not be true. Could be a wild animal or a toxic waste dump, I don't know. Just keep your guard up, okay?
Wow. That was really sweet.
All right, let's not hug or anything. You should check in with Lauren Holt. She still lives up there. Take the keys for my car. It's way too far of a walk all the way there. And remember, things happen after midnight in Salem. Be careful.